How's it going, guys? Nordy back, bringing you some more StarCraft2 ladder matches. Got a pretty interesting matchup here today. It's a PvT between myself and Raekwon on Sequencer LE. This is a match I was just playing random. I believe it was in a tournament. I was just playing random, trying to improve my game with the other two races. You know, try to get a little bit of a feel for how the other races play, just so I know, if you know your enemy, then you'll be able to beat them a little bit better, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to get a feel of how the other races like to think, what they like to do in certain situations. So I was trying to improve my game with those two, with Terran and Zerg, just to get a little bit of a better feeling with them for when I go up against Terran and Zerg in the future. So, but I managed to get Protoss in this random match, and it was a pretty interesting match. So figured I'd show it to you guys here. So let's get right into it. Raekwon is a Platinum player. I don't remember if he's Plat 3 or Plat 2. But nameplates, production tab. Alright, so PvT as usual. I'm just going to open up with that 1 gate expand. The 14 pylon, 15 gates, 17 gas, 20 expand. So, and then I'm going to transition into like a pretty heavy PvT The Adept build, with just a couple of mortal sentries mixed in there as well, and some stalkers to deal with any air units that he happens to have, since Terran have a whole host of air units they like to bring out to play, like the Liberator. I don't know about you guys, but I find the Liberator just annoying as hell to deal with. Oh god, I hate Liberators. I hate PvT in general, but that's beside the point. So after that, Pylon builds the gate, send him out to scout as usual. Just see what my opponent's up to, make sure he's not doing some crazy all-in on me. Things you're looking for, if he's got like if he's got 3 barracks when you come up and scout, he's probably going to be doing a 3 racks early push with a bunch of Marines. So you'll want to not expand and try to get to as many gateways out and some depths out as possible to deal with the early Marines. If you see 2 gas, he might be doing some sort of like a tank push or something like that. But I come up and I scout that he's putting down his expansion. Come up, he's only got 1 gas, and I come up and he's only got 1 racks. I come up and scout that he just made his first gas there, so really not too worried about another push at this point. Back at home, I just threw down the Cyber Core, got my gas mine in, got my second up. He comes out and scouts that as well. Getting my probe out of there, it's being chased by the SCV there. Always annoying. Getting my second gas. Get a second pylon, make sure I'm not supply block. Trying to get his SCV out of there so he can't see what I'm doing. And we're just continuing down the build. Like I said, we're going to be going for a PvT The Adept heavy build. Chrono out that first Adept for the to deal with the Reaper that comes in, that most Terran like to build early on. If you chrono out 1 Adept right away, then it should be out in time for the Reaper to get there. When the Reaper gets there, and you should just be able to kill it with the Adept. And I also got a Mothership Core coming up too. That'll also help out with the Reaper. Adept's done there. Picks off his SCV. He's a little bit befuddled. Doesn't know what killed his SCV. Honestly, I didn't have a clue at this point in time either. I know now that it was the Adept. So Raekwon, if you're watching this, the Adept actually killed your SCV. I thought maybe it was Mothership Core at the time, but it was not. It was the Adept. I kind of forgot that I built the Adept, honestly. It's kind of hiding back there too, so I didn't really see it. Getting up another gateway, a Robo, and a Twilight Council. Twilight Council for that PvT The Adept upgrade. Making sure to build 2 probes now that at a time. Now that my expansion's done, rallying both probes down to the natural since my main is fully saturated. If you wanted to, you could go up to 20 probes on your main, but I like to just stick at 16. Get a pylon on the back there to deal with any Liberator harass that might come out, so I can just come down and photon overcharge the pylon there and ward off his He's a Liberator. Let's go over to his base and see what he's got going on. Looks like he's got 2 racks, one with a tech lab and one with a reactor building. He's got a factory coming up, so he's probably going to be doing some sort of a heavy bio push, maybe a tank or 2 mixed in there. Getting those adepts out. Warp gate's almost finished. Making sure to start that resonating glaives upgrade. Very important. You're going for an adept heavy focus build. Got my observer going across the map just to scout and see what he's up to. Gonna put some stalkers in the back of my my main here to deal with any drops that might come in, since Terran plays focused heavily on drops. Making sure to keep those probes building. That's very important. Really, any matchup, you want to make sure you continue building probes constantly, so you get a really good economy established early on. You can see here I'm already mined out fully. Already got max probes on the minerals here. Getting those gases up so I can start putting some probes into those as well. Honestly, I probably could have built these gases a little bit earlier if I wanted to. Observer comes over here and he gets picked off because he's got a turret right here, so he's able to see it. That's unfortunate, but I did manage to see that he had a pretty heavy bio army, so I'm fairly sure at this point that he's going for a large bio force. He's going for a bio-focused build, so I know my adepts will do well against the bio army that he's got. So I'm just going to continue down my adept path there. So even though my observer got sniped, I was still able to get some useful information out of it. Not as much as I would have liked, but you know, you got to take what you can get in this game, you know what I mean? He scans, see what I'm up to, doesn't really see much. Coming over here and getting my third down. You want to get that third down as quickly as possible, you know, somewhere in between, somewhere around the 6-minute mark. A little bit before, a little bit after, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's down somewhere around the 6-minute mark. Got an immortal out, just in case he gets any tanks or anything, and it'll also help to deal with any marauders that he's got. Got 2 sentries for Guardian Shield, very important in any matchup, but especially against Terran. It's literally every single Terran unit is ranged, and the Guardian Shield reduces range damage by 2. And you can see here that even though that my third is way over the amount of probes it can handle, I'm still building probes because, again, if you watch my previous videos, you can just transfer probes once my third's done down to this base, and by the time it's done, you know, I'll have I'll already have 7 probes on this base, so maybe even more. I don't know. I'm not good with maths. 11 probes now. I already have 11 probes mining over here, so you don't have to start from scratch. So that's why you just continue to build probes even though you're oversaturated. You can always just transfer them over once the space is done, which you'll see here in a minute. Working to get that army going. Got some stalkers, as I said before, to deal with any air units. I realize he's not going for any drop play. Had he been doing drop focus play, he would have already been dropping me by now. So I figured he's going to be a little bit more passive, so I just brought those stalkers that were defending in the back there up to defend the front. You can see there, my third's done, so I transfer all those probes over. You see now I'm at a full saturation there, and I'm already oversaturated on here, so that's why you continue to build probes even though you're oversaturated, because you can just transfer them over, and then in the blink of an eye, as soon as your expansion goes up, you'll be fully saturated. Very important. Got +1 ground weapons coming up. Honestly, I should have started that earlier, but really not too big a deal since Protoss units just in general are stronger than Terran units, so I'm not too worried about it. I got a pretty decent supply lead on him. He scans me here and he sees my army is moving out just as he scans, so I stopped him to try to fake him out, make him think I'm not pushing. I should have kept my warp prism back, but yeah. He managed to catch me just as I was trying to move out, so I tried to fake him out, make him think I wasn't moving out. I don't know if I did trick him or not. Back at his base, he's got double eBay, he's building some upgrades. Looks like he's got 4 barracks. Misrally Marines there, not really doing a whole lot. He's got 2 tanks and just a heavy bio force, so just like I thought, he was going for a heavy bio play. A couple tanks as usual. I don't know why I deployed my warp prism right there, pretty horrible spot. Right on the rocks, can't warp it anything. So I deploy it right before I go in. You can see here in the back I got a bunch of gates. I think I got 11 at this point. so I can continue the pressure even after my army gets shreked. You can see here I just attack in, activate those guardian shields to reduce that damage. Those tanks are doing pretty decent damage to me though. I want to deal with, but you don't. Let me pause it real quick here. When you're attacking a Terran, I see a lot of players doing this in if I'm watching like Winter, he does that Bronze League Heroes thing. A lot of times when I'm watching that, I'll see Protoss, lower level Protoss players, and they're attacking into a Terran. They'll be attacking the bio, and then they'll move their whole army. They'll move their whole army forward to try to take out like 1 or 2 tanks. Never do that. Just deal with the bio first, and then you can move forward and attack the tanks. Because the reason you want to do that is because if you move forward and you stop your units attacking to try to take out that tank that's in the back, I mean, your army is moving for a couple seconds and not attacking, and the opponent army is just going to wreck you while you're trying to push forward to take out that one unit. So don't freak out about the tanks. I mean, yes, they're doing a lot of damage, but just deal with the bio first. Cut the bio down as much as you can, and then you can deal with the tanks once the bio is at a lower level. Never try to walk forward to kill 1 tank or 2 tanks even. Hell, even if there's 5 tanks, just don't worry about it. If there's 5 tanks, just back off. Just don't even attack. Just run away, because you're gonna get wrecked. Just try to catch them out of position. But if it's just like 1 or 2 tanks, don't worry about them. Yes, they're doing a lot of damage, but just try not to freak out. Don't just move your army forward to try to take out those 2 tanks. Deal with the bio first, and then take out the tank. Maybe I'll find a girl with money who is sharing it. You see there? I'm in a good position. I can take out the tanks now, so I take those out. Didn't lose hardly any forces doing that, so. See in the back, I'll start warping in units here. He's starting to thin out my army, but I got my warp prism here, so I'm able to just continuously warp in at the front. See there, I'm warping in some units. See what kind of upgrades I got. So I got +1 Resident Glaives and Charge. He's got +1 vehicle weapons, infantry weapons, and +2 infantry, or +1 infantry armor, +2 infantry weapons. This rallied stalkers there, they kind of moved up to try to deal with something up there. Continuously warping at the front, got some sentries there. Trying to thin out his army as much as possible, just keep the pressure going. I could have backed off here if I really wanted to. I'm pretty convincingly ahead of him on economy here. You can see here units. I have 72 probes, his 49. So I could have backed off here if I wanted to and transitioned into air, and I would have been fine. But I figured that I was thinning out his army good enough. I could just keep the pressure up. I figured eventually I would break him, so I'm just going to continue assaulting him here. He hasn't built any more siege tanks yet, so I figure I'm pretty safe to continue this pressure. I know I'm going to break him eventually. Warping some charge lots there to deal with his marauders and everything that were wrecking my adepts. He misrallied here and started attacking these debris here. I really hate these debris things that Blizzard adds on all these damn maps. I swear they do it just to mess with people, because I do that sometimes too. I'll like attack move backwards and I'll end up clicking this damn thing and all my units will attack it while getting wrecked by the opponent's army. You can see there, GG, I managed to break him. We're just going to have a little bit of a conversation here. But yeah, the Adept Heavy focus build works really well against Terran players that are focusing heavily on bio. Obviously, it's not going to work against mech, because Adepts don't do very much damage against mech. If your opponent's going mech heavy style, optimally what you want to do is you want to scout it and go air early. But if you don't scout it early, or if you don't make the transition to air early enough, Stalkers and Immortal heavy army should do the trick. But ideally you want air against mech. But a bio heavy Adept charge lot build works just fine. Mix in a few Stalkers here and there just in case he builds anything like a Liberator or anything like that, or to deal with his metamax. Maybe 1 or 2 Immortals if you really want to. But yeah, the Adept heavy build really works out. Basically what that came down to though in that match, I just had a way better economy than he did. I had way better production than he did. You see here I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gateways. Had 10 gateways. I had 72 probes to his 49 probes at one point. So I just had way better economy, way better production than he did. He only had 3 barracks, so he wasn't able to pump out those units quick enough. And as I was just warping in just bunches of units, 10 at a time. He was only able to produce what, 2, 4. He was only able to produce 6 units at a time. So basically, what that came down to is I just out macroed him on that one. His upgrades were better than mine, but you can see there, because my economy was way better than his, it didn't really matter too much. So that's why you want to get a good economy established early on. Got to get good at macro, you know. Just got to keep practicing your builds to get it down. APM, I had a really high APM that match, 85. You know, I wasn't thinking that I was going to put these matches on YouTube because I was playing random, so I didn't restrain myself as much as I normally do. So that's why it's higher than it normally is, but try to keep that down for you guys in the future. Trying to stick to that 70 range. But he had 114, so I still had considerably less than he did. So again, APM not too big of a deal. Scouting, reacting to your opponent. Saw there I scouted with the probe at the beginning. Saw he wasn't doing any early pressure on me, so I went for the 2-base play. Then I scouted with the observer. Even though it got picked off, I managed to see he had a heavy bioforce, so I knew that the adepts were the right call there. Had I seen heavy mech army, I would have went for air. So scouting, minimap watching, honestly wasn't a whole lot to watch on the minimap there. He didn't drop me or anything, but in the PvT again, you know, against Terran, you really want to pay attention to that minimap because Terran like to do drop play a lot. My opponent here didn't do any drops. Honestly, that might have hurt him in the end, but yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot to watch on the minimap at that point. I added a 4th one. If you guys haven't watched a video in a long time, I added a 4th one. It used to just be 3. Now it's I got a 4th one and a good build order. The 1-gate expand into mass adepts is a pretty good build order. I recommend it. Honestly, I executed it with the exception of the upgrades. My upgrades I should have +2 by now, but with the exception of the upgrades, I executed this build this time pretty much flawlessly. So you guys are looking for a video to copy my build on, this might be one of them. Just make sure maybe you take those build this forge and maybe a second forge a little bit earlier than I did. That was about the only thing I messed up on. Like I said, I should have had +2 by now, but I did not. So maybe that's the only thing you want to do a little bit differently. But other than that, I executed this build pretty much flawlessly. Or at least I think it's flawlessly. Maybe if you're masters, maybe you think differently. Maybe you're like, oh, this noob, he sucks. But according to my skill level, I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, that was a good match. Raekwon, great match, man, if you're watching it. If you guys liked the video, it'd be great if you could like, comment, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you want to check out my other videos, I got a bunch of other videos up that, you know, for all the different matches. I got a couple build order videos. That one macro build order that's my highest viewed video. I guess people like that one. If you guys want, let me know, since that's my highest watched video. If you guys want to see more build order videos, just let me know. I got a whole bunch more build orders than just those 3 that I showed you there, so I can definitely make another video of those if you guys want it. Just let me know. As always, we're listening to my buddy Stone Clear. The link to his SoundCloud will be in the description, so go ahead and check that out if you like the music we're listening to. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Nordy out.